All right.
I'm in a good stretch today. I did that this morning.
Do the Nikocado avocado.
He's skinny now. But he released like a supervillain video. It was weird.
Because he is a super villain, dude.
You think I couldn't do this? And there's just like weird vibes. I was like, I don't really like him, but like this is really weird.
Dude, he is the king of the bit. All right, I give him credit on that. He holding a bit of that form. At least he might not be. I know he might be dumb as fucking rocks. He might not. Who knows? But anyway,
he played the violin.
I guess he's got to have some sort of brain.
No stupid people play the violin.
Yeah.
Do any of us play the violin?
No.
Look at us. All of us.
Can't keep that in. All right. So anyway.
Hello.
Hi.
Shabbat Shalom, even though it is a Friday as we record this. So, welcome to the Surplus Boys channel.
It's a little bit different today.
Yeah, we're going to be doing, I guess, a podcast in a way. We're going to talk about bullshit, okay? Because this is actually what Surplus Boys normally is us just getting together, rambling like idiots. And so we're going to bring you on that journey today.
If you got time for an hour-long video.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we're not going to really be showing things. We're just going to be talking.
It's going to be rambling. It's going to be dumb.
Yeah.
This is a test. If it works out well, we'll keep doing it.
Yeah.
If it doesn't work out well, maybe we'll do one every couple of months.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah, whatever.
And we get it. The podcast stuff's kind of big now. This isn't really a podcast.
More like a behind the scenes, behind the bull.
I mean, in all honesty, when I watch most of my videos, I know it sounds bad. I'm driving, but I'm not watching them. I'm just listening to them. So
I do
it's the same concept.
This is a listening video.
That's what we're doing
For when you're
today,
driving.
and that was probably super loud because I was clicking against the microphones. But anyway, we got a piece of paper with some stuff we're going to talk about, and you're going to be to our mercies because we didn't ask any viewers questions at all. Because screw you guys.
We'll ask at the end of this video.
yeah. If you for the next one, if you have any ideas,
put it down.
Yeah, put it down. So, we're going to start off with a little bit of a personal question for all of us. So, what got us into guns to begin with that led us down being in our late 20s now, all of us.
Old men.
Yeah, we're old, apparently. So, we're gonna start with Pat.
Can I? I'm gonna make a side note already.
All right.
Is that the shirt that you bought out at the place in Pocono?
Oh yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, this is
I still have the ticket.
when we went to for
Oh,
the
hell
first
yeah.
thing. Yeah.
I still have the ticket in my wallet.
I was thinking about it the other day.
Yeah.
We should do that again. All right. I
I was looking at go-kart.
Go-karts, yeah, go-karts.
I was looking at a
Go-karts?
go-kart place. And I was like, I bet you can't drift in those though.
Yeah.
Because I saw the people actually gripping on the road. No,
I want to be out of control.
Welcome to our brain rot.
those things are screaming metal death traps. The welds were like splatter welds.
I didn't have a seatbelt on half the time. They're like, "Are you good with it?" I'm like, "Sure."
You see that video?
The lady had 3 teeth.
Good. That's the best. Usually the people that only have a couple teeth, those are the people to party with.
Yeah.
So,
All right. Circle back around.
yeah, let's circle back around.
What got me into firearms? Well, I watched Saving Private Ryan when I was 4, and Blazing Saddles. Good combination of movies.
Good mix.
And I got a gun book when I was very young, and it was all weapons from. It wasn't even a gun. It was just weapons. So it was stuff from the Roman times.
Oh, it was the one from the Scholastic Fair. I know exactly which one
Yeah,
you're talking
you know
about.
which one I'm talking about. I
Oh,
still
the
have it,
white book.
actually.
Yeah.
Yep.
Talk about throwback.
I still have it, actually. Talk about throwback. I went up to Morris Hills 2 days ago.
Jeez Louise. I mean, you're right down the street now.
Yeah, I went up there to play tennis, because I play tennis now.
Hell yeah.
What is this guy, British?
I love tennis, though.
All right, I guess I'm the uncultured one here.
So I go up there, and I'm just looking around, and I'm like, wow, it's changed. They have a whole archway now when you enter in by the tennis courts and stuff. Whatever.
Anyway.
So I got that book, and I was always like, cool, guns. Why can we stab people when we can just shoot them?
You can hit them from afar.
Yeah, exactly. Probably can't say that on YouTube. Sorry, YouTube. But I read that book, and I was like, cool. And then I went, I like World War II because it was Saving Private Ryan. So I was just like that. And then Band of Brothers and everything cemented the fact that I was going to learn about World War II, and it was the obsession that I was going to keep for the rest of my life. And then it turned into, wait, I'm old enough now, I can buy these guns. And that's
that's
where we are now. It's a very simple story for me. Nobody went, here's a gun. I went shooting and hunting all the time when I was a kid, so that probably didn't help too. But nobody went, here, have this 1903 Springfield,
Yeah.
So
Who has one of those? Anyway.
I'll have one by the end of the year, hopefully.
Watch
This video for some teasers.
Yeah.
I actually have my first gun. Cut. Wow.
I almost
I'm
bought
back again.
Justin's back.
So I come from a hunting family, and I just have the classic grandpa and dad took
You're
me out.
like me. Same thing.
Grandpa
Yeah.
and dad took me out shooting,
Yep.
and they gave me a 12 gauge the first time. It terrified me. But
I've been there.
then they moved me to the 16, the 20 gauge.
Click the thing. My bad. What time is it? Okay. I'm trying to keep track of time and how long we're doing this for.
No problem.
Oh, okay.
It was started me. Well, 12 gauge was a terrible idea, but
Well,
then there was the 20 gauge and 16 gauge, and then my dad was like, "We got to get a gun that's more appropriate." And I got the nice Ruger 1022, I think.
1022. Something
Oh,
like that.
7722.
I don't
know what the 77 means,
That's a fun rifle to shoot.
but this is like the
It's
most
pretty much just a
accurate
bolt action
gun.
1022.
Boom.
Yep.
Most accurate gun ever. Mag fed, beautiful, and a Bushnell scope on it for some reason.
Little too extra.
It matches.
That's it. I just got it from hunting, and then guns are cool. Loud explosion.
Yep.
And you put holes in paper.
Paper.
Overcompensates for.
Shoot at steel.
I hunt stacks of paper.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
You shoot at steel and it instantly cures your autism.
Well, that's just about it. I don't
Yeah.
have any
I mean, I,
glorious
like I said, I
stories.
was the same thing. Hunting
Yeah.
and fishing. Had grandpa's shotgun. I got handed a 12 gauge too.
Classy.
And they sit there and they laugh at you after it almost knocks you on your ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're like, you're like,
You're like, thanks, Dad.
or you're a little bitch and cry.
My dad is a big guy, 220 muscle, and like he shoots it. And it's like nothing on him, but I was like
Oh, my dad could do it. I could do
60
it.
pounds at like
Yeah, if I can do it, if he can do it,
9.
I can do it.
yeah, it almost killed me.
Classic.
The recoil almost launched me to the next county. It was-
Actually, one of the first handguns I ever shot was one of these.
Oh, one of the hooker pistols?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, I guess it's my turn. I'm an outlier, I guess. I didn't have a hunting family. My introduction to guns is actually also at the age of 4. But my dad let me play Duke Nukem 0 Hour.
Hell
So
yeah.
to any of y'all
That's
Duke Nukem fans,
deep cut.
I'm a deep resonated fan in Duke Nukem
Duke
when it
Nukem
comes
was
to
a
that.
great game, though.
So that was a big piece of my childhood, and then it evolved into more games and the like. All the
play that, you play Medal of Honor,
all
Call
the
of Duty,
the old
all
school
that
Medal of
stuff.
Honor is the really good stuff. The old school Call of Duties. Some
Big
like
Red
the
One,
old
Call of
the
Duty.
old
Red One,
SOCOMs
yeah.
and stuff like that. The
Oh,
SOCOM
I
games.
forgot about SOCOM.
Yeah.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
Ghost
yeah.
Recon.
Yeah.
I was going to
those
say the
ones?
original Tom
Oh,
Clancy
the
games.
really good
Tom
ones.
Clancy, yeah.
The ones that were like terrible to
Rainbow
move around
Six.
because the mechanisms
I don't know
were
if you guys
like
ever played any
awful.
of the like Cabela's hunting games too.
I did
Yeah,
actually.
yeah.
I
Those were
remember.
good.
I remember in the early ones, not the cut into years, but in the early Cabela's, like they let you do like anything. You wanted to kill a deer with running over with a truck. Sure,
I remember
you're not
that.
gonna get any points. And then like the later ones, they're like you get a warning next time you do this, you get kicked off. And I was 8, 10, so of course I'm gonna do it again. And then they weren't lying, and then I just didn't play that one because I was like, I don't want to get kicked off. I want to run over deer. Anyway,
But yeah. So old school games, and then I didn't really actually fire a gun. I think until I was like 10 or 11, or at least hold one. I think, in all honesty, and that was because I don't know where I was from, but yeah, my dad was like, "Oh yeah, we'll go shooting with my one friend," and I was like, "All right, cool. I'm 10 years old, great." And like, yeah, shot at 22. I don't even know what it was. It was like a
It's
like a Winchester Model
Yeah.
72 or something like that. I think
Yeah.
that's what it was, or like a Stevens, or I don't even know.
Some cheap
Like a
22.
a tube fed
Yeah.
bolt action 22,
Could've been a
and
Mossberg.
then same thing with the 12 gauge. Like, here, have this. I'm like, all right, cool.
Well,
And
no,
then-
your claim to fame is a British piece of engineering.
Oh yeah, my the thing that really caught me so my dad's friend had a Jungle carbine that was chambered in .308, and out of all the guns in that entire thing, that was my favorite. I as a 10-year-old boy, working that bolt, which was nearly impossible for my little frail hands at the time, shot a good amount of ammo out of that thing that day. So
Actually-
that was cool. I remember that, and then
didn't you have a story about the first time you shot a Garand too? Didn't you?
No,
Didn't you?
it took me a while to shoot a Garand. That Garand it took me a very long time to actually
That came late.
get to like American guns. It's kind of funny. I was introduced to European guns.
SKS.
Yeah, I was introduced to a lot of
SKS,
I guess that's why I like European guns more than American ones. I mean, American guns are great and amazing, but yeah, my introductions were British,
yeah,
Russian, other
into-
guns like that. So
I actually,
that's
just
where it
thinking
came
about
from.
it, I have a funny story from when I was a kid about the first AR-15 I ever shot. This is actually a funny story, but I had one of my dad's friends belonged to a private range up by where we live, and his friend would buy, he had a lot of money, so he would buy the nicest guns.
bougiest.
But never bought an AR, but would buy he had Beretta M9s when they were cool still. They're not cool anymore.
Roasting on the M9.
But he had one brand new. He had 3 Dan Wesson revolvers, good. He had a Smith & Wesson Model 29, which I keep trying to buy from him. So he had all this stuff, and he's like, "Oh, we're gonna have my buddy come, and he's got 2 ARs." And I'm like 13. All right, cool. I'm excited. I was like, "Oh, I get to shoot an AR." And at the time, didn't realize this because I didn't know anything about guns at the time. It's a fucking Colt SP1 with an original Colt scope on it. You know how much that's probably worth nowadays?
big buku
At
bucks
least
that we had.
$4. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a whole maybe
So-
7.
Ah.
Probably 7.
I'm loading the magazines, and the guy who owns it just, started shooting it, and it scared the crap out of me because you know what the report of an AR is.
Yeah. That's the thing.
Sharp.
Yeah,
It's
sharp.
It's so funny. ARs are this is gonna, I guess, go into another one of our topics. It's just ARs are
They're whack.
They are loud.
they have a lot of bite. I will give them that, but they have so much bark. But considering what's coming out of it, I'm just like, dude,
Yeah, at 500 yards, it's worthless.
grow up, bro.
It's a personality-less gun too.
Yeah, I mean, not
like I said, the original ones
Yes,
are-
the custom you could customize,
Yeah.
blah 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 blah. But even the ones that are like you guys have on purpose make it look like something. But the ones people are buy ARs and are like, slap a scope, slap a laser on
Yeah.
it. They
Yeah.
all look the same. They're like, oh yeah, this is a $10,000 laser.
Or
I'm
it's
it
my-
looks like the $300 one.
yeah,
I'm sorry.
or it's this is the gun for when the world ends.
yeah.
Ah,
or the funny bit of
my gun for the world end is a big stick.
yeah, big old.
I'm just gonna
Teddy
whack
Roosevelt.
it.
No, the blunderbuss. Dude.
Yeah, the blunderbuss.
Teddy Roosevelt.
But that's
Fucking-
more or less funny with the fact the same thing with, I guess, gun bros. Screw you guys.
Yeah.
Anyway, but with
You know who you
ARs
are.
or AKs. I mean, I'm more AKs.
Well,
I
AKs
think AKs are cooler.
No, I agree. I think
But,
AKs are cool too, especially a nice milled AK.
Yeah, nice milled AK. But the thing
Yeah.
is, people are especially because at least when I go to the range, I usually bring out antique 1880s, 1890s
Yeah, we
guns. Are
both-
huge. They're long. They're 10 pounds, 11 pounds. So why do you have that? It's way lighter. I'm like, yeah, but you have all those scopes and those mounts and all those extra shit. The gun is the exact same weight as my gun, but my gun's cooler because it definitely shot at people, even
no,
though
here's
that's
the
not
thing.
good for YouTube. Screw you, YouTube. But still, I think it's cool.
Here's
Shut
my
up.
thing.
Paper-shaped people.
You look at
Yeah.
No. People-shaped paper? People-shaped paper.
People shape paper.
we
Not the other
once
way.
don't have any military arms actually on the table besides the
Walker.
replica Walker. But even both these guns, that's probably 100 years old.
19 something, early 1900s.
Okay, that's-
they made 'em for
I
a
traced
really
it back
long time.
below 1943. So
Okay,
yeah.
so this is sub 100 years old. That's 100 years old, right?
That's from 1908. Yeah.
Okay,
No,
yeah.
no.
Both-
1913. That's when that.
Both
was
of
made,
these
yes.
guns are give or take 100 years old. They have soul to them.
Your AR doesn't have soul.
Exactly. That Walker might be a reproduction, but that's going to go with you for the rest of your life. And when you die, somebody's going to buy it, and that gun will continue a story.
Listen,
Nick's going out in a blaze of glory.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah,
When the train heist goes wrong, when the bike heist goes wrong, and the Pinkertons are on
and
him.
I'm slowly loading my walker on the train.
Fuck.
The Pinkertons are on him, the modern day ones, so they got scary guns.
Yeah, they got
Yeah.
scary guns. But you know what? That's funny. Going into a realm. I mean, this is another topic, but I don't think we were gonna touch upon. But I'm gonna touch upon it now because screw you. I can do what I want. But with not using there's one thing we were talking about before we did this is not using your cool guns for self-defense.
Oh yeah.
So, and it makes total sense because why would you use your cool guns for self-defense? Because the police are just going to take it away anyway.
Yeah, take it
That's
away.
Because-
cheap enough you could.
Because more or less the fact that is cheap enough, yes, but This is one of my cooler guns. I gotta say, out of all my pistols, this is like my favorite, even though it's the most impractical because it totally overcompensates for things
really
that I'm
does.
lacking in. But the matter of the fact is that this thing, it's so chunky, and it's a flex.
It is.
If you defend your home with that, and you're blowing massive, huge, especially if you use the conical bullets, massive, huge 44 caliber holes with a black powder gun into and you say tally ho while you do it. You already, even if you do get killed in the process, you already won. Like
your legacy is that.
So long as you shot the dude with that, you could shoot him in the toe, and then he kills you. I already won. Already won.
Well, that's like you don't use your cool guns for home defense.
That's my hill.
Why do you?
I'm gonna stand on it.
Why do you think I put the bayonet on all my guns when they're in home defense mode?
Yeah.
Because you're gonna get this guy. This is a visual image, but you're gonna get this guy buck naked in the middle of the night with an M1 with a 16-inch long bayonet on it. You wanna screw with that guy?
Yeah.
See, running at you with a raging boner too.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for this.
Yeah. There's two pointy things that come from this dude.
Well, it's like we talk about it. It's like, yeah, if the Boogaloo ever happened, this probably isn't a YouTube safe subject, but you know, if
I mean, the Boogaloo's not talked about anymore, really.
no, it's not. So
very often.
let's bring it back.
Yeah. It hit its popularity. Now it's gone down.
So, like, if the Boogaloo ever happens and everybody, you know, all your gun bros are out with their ARs and whatever, you're gonna see me walking down the street with the freaking model of 1917 with a bayonet and be like, yeah, fuck you.
See, that's also adds to the fact. Like, I mean, aesthetics, which is not on our topics, but the aesthetics
are kind of everything sometimes.
they are, especially when it comes to actual fighting.
We could circle back with the AR-15s because, like, there are some exceptions where I think AR-15s are cool. Like, you both have projects you want to complete.
Yep. I want to build an M16A1 clone from Vietnam and the service rifle from New Vegas.
Service rifle or the survivalist rifle from New
rifle,
Vegas.
yep.
So wooden furniture, but in 50 Beowulf. That'd be cool.
There's one purpose-built AR-15 I'll ever do, and it's the soda can launcher barrel attachment.
Yep.
Because I would, going back to not using cool guns as home defense, I would shoot a soda can into someone's sternum because that would be hilarious.
How'd they die? That's a 24-ounce PBR.
It's a tall boy.
A tall boy in his chest.
Yeah, tall boy in his
How
not
did
tall
not
boy.
explode? You know, they got the lip ring on the top and just perfectly
it's kind
impales
of
you.
like the episode.
Or like compound to the fence where he punches a hole
Yeah.
straight through the guy. That's what the can's gonna do.
Or it's like the you see that thing with those. I don't know who they are, but they're straight up redneck, dude. They take that big huge pipe and they put a massive jawbreaker in it and they shoot it into a car.
Oh,
and
yeah.
they'll hole it. They use like a pound of powder, something like that.
No, the can doesn't explode and they're doing the autopsy and you just see the guy doing the autopsy.
Shot ski picks up the whole guy.
This was a good year for PBR.
Yeah. Nice publicity.
Oh, God.
Oh God. That was pretty. All right. That was
Where were we?
Wait, where were we?
I was telling my story about the AR. About how it scared the crap out of me as a kid.
Okay. Yeah, that came from that. And then we went to like...
Then we went to ARs.
Aesthetics.
Yeah.
So when it comes to Boogaloo or fighting or anything like that, I know people that are decked out completely. Like if you look at like...
Tactical.
Yeah, you look at...
Meal Team 6.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at guys like that, I will tell you, if a guy was coming at me like that, I would definitely be shitting bricks. No matter who, like anybody with a weapon coming at me, if it's some guy just in his t-shirt and pants or guy that's decked out completely or whatever, that's still going to be scary. But then you add the fact of, first of all, some guy that's naked with a bayonet, that's ultimate. That's like multiplier fear on top of that. Because that guy has, if that guy's
No
naked with
care.
a bayonet running at you, he is
No
obviously
care.
you have to make the assumption he's on meth.
Yeah.
At that point, and then if you come to that conclusion, you're like, listen, wait a minute, this guy's on meth, so
He's bulletproof.
I'm easily outclassed.
Yep.
So, but like, and same guys like with guys with all that gear, they're decked out, and I'm pretty sure most guys that have most of that stuff kind of know what they're doing, or at least you assume that. So that's still scary as well. Like, if you look at like Grand Thumb and Administrative Result, like those guys are pretty on point.
Those guys know what they're doing, but like the average Joe that just decks themselves out to
That
make
is-
them look
that
like
is-
military, you just need like a Home Alone style trap to stop them.
Yeah.
You're really not
Just
Like
a paint- just a paint can and
paint
boom.
can.
Yeah.
Because their helmet is not actually raid for anything. It's just like sheet
at least
metal.
we actually
Give them
have
a
steel
concussion.
helmets.
Yeah. So I mean, but you never know your adversary. So you have to kind of judge by aesthetics.
Exactly.
But also, if you get a guy that's decked out in like gear that's 100 years old and stuff like that,
That's gonna terrify.
yeah,
somebody.
if you come across a guy in like a British Tommy outfit with an Enfield with the bayonet and everything and completely decked out and with the first
With
of all,
the gas
masks, anybody wearing a gas
multiplier.
mask, that is immediate. I'm leaving. I'm
Yep.
gone. I quit whatever I was doing. I'm going home. I'm going to shit my pants.
Yeah, I've
and
crapped
then
my
crawl in a
pants.
hole.
I need to change.
Yeah, like stuff like that. So there is aesthetics, but like saying with this aesthetic, if a man sees me wielding this at him,
It's intimidating.
First of all,
Yeah.
the thing is huge. If I miss all 6 shots, this thing is 4.5 pounds. That's a very good bludgeon.
That's a club. Grab it by the hot barrel,
Yeah,
sear your hand.
Yeah.
bash
The
it over
hot
head.
black powder barrel just starts bludgeoning him with the grip.
But it's not wrong though.
Yeah.
You see somebody in that or anything, and again, gas mask. It doesn't even need to be like a World War One. You see somebody in a Russian, like one of the Russian gas masks,
Yeah,
in like
anything-
modern gear.
anything.
That's like, all right,
Any
I
gas
screwed
mask.
with the wrong person.
I mean, if someone's wearing like a World War One gas mask, the old school ones that are meant to like just really creepy looking, and they have the tube that goes down.
Yep.
And like that,
You ever watch My Bloody
that
Valentine?
adds way more fear.
You ever watch My Bloody Valentine?
Yeah, so like,
Yeah,
that just adds way more fear.
instant fear.
Or like somebody's coming, like this is a 20-inch long sword bayonet.
On top of a rifle.
Like, well, even if this wasn't on the rifle,
No, that's still terrifying.
if
That's
some-
enough to do
if
damage.
if a guy has this, so like this is a Vetterli bayonet, so they would have had
Boy, long.
Chamelot Delvines, at least when these were being used mostly, or they would have had the Bodeo. So if a guy had this in a Bodeo, that man has more balls than I do. So
Or you could be like the British and put a fucking bayonet on
yeah,
the
you put a
Webley.
bayonet on the gun,
On the
but,
Webley.
but still, like there's ultimate fear in the fact, especially
yeah.
this old stuff.
Yeah, and you know what it is? You know what I think most of the fear is? All the gun bros we're talking about don't understand the old stuff.
They
And they think
We're gonna be roasting you
5.56 is a superior cartridge.
Oh,
Not to get into that topic just
that,
yet.
I mean, that's on there.
Yeah, not to get into that topic just yet, but they go 5.56 is a superior cartridge.
9mm superior
5.56 at 500 yards starts to keyhole. Screw that. 30-06 at 1,000 yards still does the same thing.
I mean,
And
to give the benefit of the doubt,
5.56
5.56 has its place.
It does. You can carry a lot of it.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
small.
not gonna.
Rather cheap.
The turd that we're placing on this cartridge is not massive.
It's not even
It's-
so much the
it's
cartridge
medium
itself.
to
It's
small
the
sized.
people that
You already
use
pooped
it.
in the day.
Yeah,
That's the turbo pudding.
but it's like we're not even like directly shitting on the cartridge. You know, like
I guess it's the culture behind the cartridge.
exactly. Same thing
Yeah.
with 9mm. We're not directly shitting. Well, there's gonna be a lot of.
It's kind of like the frap. It's like the Frappo.
I think it doesn't matter. At some point, with all the whatever.
Yeah.
It's,
So like, and we're not directly shitting on 9mm either. It's the behind the cartridge, and also there's no cool 9mm handguns. I mean, there is. Like
I mean, that Browning
in
high
other-
power
in
is
not-
pretty
in-
cool.
Steyr-Hahn.
Well, Steyr-Hahn is 9mm Steyr. It's different.
Yeah, but it's still a 9mm cartridge.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, but the thing is, a 9mm is a 38.
The Luger.
Yeah, the Luger's cool.
You got
I'm gonna start thinking of some.
you got to think about
the
that.
C96.
Like,
I'm bragging.
no, that's 760 by
No,
20.
Red 9 was a 9mm.
Oh,
Is
that's
it
the
one
Red
of the
9.
CZs in 9mm too?
Yeah, CZ75 is cool.
All right, so there's cool guns.
But they're
yes.
old. Notice they're
Yeah,
all old.
Yeah, the ones we're talking about are older guns. Like all the new ones.
Beretta,
like-
screw the Beretta 9.
The M9.
The M9.
I like that one.
I-
think it's cool.
Wait, no, wait.
Nah.
Is it the M92F, the one that's automatic?
that
Oh,
one's
the
even cooler.
M90,
What-
M93R.
The little.
M93R,
Yeah.
with the little thingy on it.
Yeah,
to
and it's
hold
got
it.
3-round. That is okay. That's kind of cool.
That's cool, but
Yeah.
the thing is, we can't own that, so that's unfortunate.
But like not
yeah.
when we talk about 5.56, we're shitting on the culture behind it. You know,
Yeah,
a
pretty much
cartridge
it.
a cartridge is a cartridge, and we respect all of them mostly the same. 5.56.
I mean, there's definitely ones above and beyond. But
that's true. But if you give me 5.56 in like
I have my prejudices.
exactly yeah, like you don't like 300 blackout. Fuck
No,
off.
I don't.
What
I would admit, good idea because
30 caliber cartridge?
it's a 30 caliber
Out of an AR.
5.56 pretty much.
Yeah.
So that's a good idea because I'm more of a 7.62 by 39 kind of guy. So and
I
that's a
would say-
30 caliber cartridge. Russians are just like, well, we already have all this 30 cal, so we'll just make it 30 cal because that just
Yeah.
makes the rifling easier because we already have the
Exactly.
machines. But like, yeah, the 5.56, yes, it's cool. It's tiny. It goes very far. It's very small.
carry
and
a lot
you
of
can
it.
carry a lot of it. But then yeah, it just I don't know. In some places it doesn't have the oomph.
The other problem is with
Kind of
5.56.
weak cartridge, but
Well, it's not that it's weak. It's just like I said, its
has
effective
it has
range
it
is
has its
not
place.
Exactly. It has its. If you're in house to house environment,
Makes sense.
I would take 5.56 over 30-06. I will say that. If I'm in fields, no,
Well,
308 at
a
that.
lot of those guys are
7.62
carrying
would do it.
5.56. When they're in a field, they have some dude in a truck with a 50 cal machine gun.
Not
so.
wrong, or they have a tank.
Or they're like a helicopter with a minigun.
I think in forms of military, like you can't really like roast military's forms
Listen,
on that, just because they have different weapon systems.
And they have a guy running around
Yeah.
with a rifle in 7.62.
Yeah,
Their machine
so-
guns are mostly in 7.62 besides the M249 SAW.
Yeah.
You know, they have those backups, but when you are a one-on-one person
Yeah. A singular human dude.
and you are, you're carrying, let's just say, a standard AR that you probably paid way too much money for because it probably is a Daniel Defense. And you have, wait for it, my least favorite 9mm handgun.
Right there.
Nope. My least favorite 9mm handgun. You're running around with that and a Glock. That's going to get some controversy.
Screw Glocks.
I just fucking hate them.
Well, the 19 or 17, whatever the automatic one is.
18.
Anything that's
The
automatic.
ones
I
that are
think is cool.
super cool, we're okay with.
Yeah.
But
Like,
your
okay.
typical Glock, no.
I'll go buy a Glock in 10mm. I would. Because I like 10mm.
But why not just get one in a really dumb cartridge that makes no sense?
357 SIG.
Yes.
454.
Kasul. Yeah.
That'd be ridiculous. First of all.
They make a 454 Desert Eagle. It was a limited run. There's not that many of them. But
Well, we're talking to the Desert Eagle dude over here.
they had one in 358 also, or something random, or 458.
Yeah, dude, there's some really weird cartridges out there, man.
That's why I like 10mm.
The BFR. I really want one still. In the
Yeah.
fucking, what is it, the 4570?
Yeah, 45.
Yep.
70,
Ridiculous. That'd be a wrist breaker.
Dude, who needs wrists, dude?
Mine are already gone.
Yeah, you could just.
It's crack.
I was going to say a joke about ventilating them, but
Yeah.
you just break them in half. Anyway,
Hyperventilation.
yeah, but
But yeah, so that's just...
that's a high horse on that.
If I see somebody running at me in an AR with full body armor and everything else, I'm going to look at them and be like, well, I know my 30-06 will go through their body armor. Paper.
yeah, pretty much. But
So,
that's also the one thing. It's like we
Stopping
talk
power.
we talk all this talk and whatever, and we're stupid. We have our biases and our prejudices. And
obviously
stuff.
we like old guns.
Everyone
and
likes
obviously,
whatever they like.
obviously you guys
Yeah,
are watching
but,
this because you also
If
like
you're a
old
gun
guns.
owner and you're not a dick about it, like, you're cool.
We don't care.
That's it. Just don't be a
You know?
pretty much.
Like those guys that make it the whole culture, like, yeah, we like guns, but we're like people with other things that we enjoy.
have different
This is not
hobbies.
our whole thing. This is a big thing. I won't say I won't lie about that.
It's pretty
but
big.
it's not our whole thing. But there's people that's like their gun is who they are. Like,
Yep.
That's
and
weird.
if their gun is their AR that looks identical to almost everybody's AR, and like then
the
you're
$300 one you buy
then,
at Dick's Sporting Goods.
yeah, then I'm
Yeah,
not.
then you drop $1,000 on accessories.
Yeah, it's like well, if that's your personality and that's what you took, then your personality is pretty
It's
basic.
shallow.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you're practically a basic bitch going to Starbucks at that point.
Getting pumpkin spice lattes.
So
Yeah.
real quick, just like let's applaud our new mics. We got new mics.
Yeah,
by the way.
oh,
They're
yeah.
still on.
Yeah, so yeah,
at
this is the
that.
first video with new expensive mics that
They're on, and we can
actually-
see the sound levels from a distance.
Yeah, we can actually see everything. Nothing's cutting out.
Look, it's not even peaking. Like they're still in green.
Yeah, I mean they're not right up against our faces.
Get real close and say nasty things.
on my phone.
But yeah, thank God for these mics. Dude.
What-
I was really sick of that. I don't even know where the old ones are. I forgot where I put them.
Fuck 'em.
I was looking for I was looking for them just in case if we needed like an extra one off to the side or something. But
We're gonna take them to the gun range and dismantle them.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Guns. Let's go to favorite gun. What gun? Perfect world.
Oh, all right.
Perfect world. Yeah,
I guess
there
this
was no hurdles for
what's
you
your
to
dream,
getting it.
It's like what's your dream car right now?
No hurdles
Yeah.
for you getting it. Anything in the world. Which gun? I already know.
Start with you.
Evans.
Yep.
Pristine Evans.
And
Which
Evan-
one though?
and Evan- all
There's
right.
like 800 models.
All right. So
not really,
there's
there's like
not
4,
No,
but, like, still.
there's a few models. So see, I would think the. So there's two main. There's the new model and the old model. The old model's really cool. I like the aesthetics. And there's a, if you look at a book, I forget the name of it. It's Man and It's like gun makers. The prototype model would be super badass. There's only one in existence. I don't know who has it.
Probably
That thing's
some rich guy.
super cool. And it looks so like really like space age back then. It looks like something you'd see out of like late 1950s, early 1960s,
Futurism.
like futurism. That's what it looks like, but that's like back in the 1860s or 1870s. But anyway, yeah. So probably the new model that shoots the bigger cartridge that has more oomph, kind of like a kind of has the same oomph as like a Spencer. The new model had like a more smaller cartridge, like more pistol-esque. But yeah, one of them, that is the military musket version. So that's like a 30-inch long barrel with like the full-length stock with the bayonet.
Takes a bayonet.
That would be my top.
That's the problem. Things if they can take a bayonet,
And they only made
have
like 200
Yeah,
of
it
them.
was-
yeah.
How many rounds are in those again?
So the new model is 28.
Ridiculous.
And-
Also, New Jersey compliant because it's a built-in mag.
Yep, it's built-in mag,
Boom.
and it's not a semi-automatic. So screw you, New Jersey, and also screw you, YouTube. But I don't have one here, so that doesn't go against YouTube's
It's
rules.
wishful thinking.
All right. Anyway, and then the other one was
The Gustav.
29 plus like, give me a second, 10 halves to confuse you YouTube people. So go on to you guys.
Confusing me.
Yeah, good, exactly.
So-
I don't want them to know the exact
got-
number because they'll get mad.
I got 3, if I could find them.
No, you only pick one.
That's the problem. Is
Oh.
he gets it.
I was like counting my head.
Well, no, I'm gonna give
The
you.
10 halves confused me.
I'm gonna give you the 3 options I have, and then I'll give you the one I actually like want out of most of them. So number 1 is an original Spencer.
That would be
I
pretty
want an original Spencer carbine.
I like how both rifles that are immediately chosen first are ones that load from the butt.
Yep. I want an original Spencer. Next would probably be a Racing Model 50, which was the SMG that the Marines adopted because
I
they
have
needed
no idea. I've never heard of that one.
Yeah, they needed more.
They're pretty derpy looking.
They are. They
Yeah.
are.
One of those World War II slap everything together because we
No,
need
it's in a
something.
wood stock and
Yeah,
stuff.
it's in a wood
Like,
stock, and
it's.
it looks like a knockoff version of like a Thompson in a way,
Hold on, I'll just pull up a photo of one.
slightly. I could be completely wrong,
Here's
but
a
like,
photo of one right here.
yeah, I'm not gonna edit this in. Screw you.
It looks
Oh,
like
is
a
it a model?
gun.
And if you're driving right now and you're really trying to look for this photo,
Look at it. Look
look
right
at
here.
the photo right now. don't crash.
That's a Model 50.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I've seen one.
The
of
the
those.
55
it's like a
has
partial knockoff Thompson. At least in my eyes.
the 55 has a really crappy folding stock, so screw that.
yeah.
So I got those 2. And then the top one gets tossed around a lot, but I want, and this is what I actually want, an original, unmolested model of 1918 BAR.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Never,
with the-
never touch.
With the plastic still?
With the super
No.
chunky forearm.
Oh,
yeah, with the
Still in the crate?
yeah, right, with the checkered grip on the front.
Yeah, yeah.
I want an original, untouched 1918 BAR.
Mine's a little different. I want a Macmillan TAC 50.
That's a good choice.
I wanted a big, beefy rifle with a 50 BMG. The 50 BMG.
As he's choking down a big, huge dong.
I could shoot 3 miles. I don't have the skill for
McMillan
that,
makes
but
some
like
good shot.
it's
Yeah, good
huge.
shit.
And another one, which is also just another ridiculous one. I would love like just a real original crank Gatling gun.
Yeah,
That would be-
that would be cool.
Yeah, that's not a machine gun.
Yeah,
So
it's
it,
cranked.
it doesn't go under those laws. It is
Legal in
manually
Jersey.
manually operated.
Gotta hook a drill to it.
Like just imagine me on top of my log fort.
Yeah.
I just shot my cannon off, my swivel, and just like goosh. A bunch of horses riding me.
What was it?
Feel like Red Dead
or like
Redemption.
The,
Red
puck,
Dead.
the puckle gun. You got
Oh, yeah.
you get like 20
It's
rounds
on
of
a
like
boat, yeah.
like a cannon thing. It's like goo, goo, goo.
Well,
and then
remember-
once you're done with
or
that,
like-
then you go to the the Gatling
Well, remember,
gun.
there's 2 different kinds of rounds for the puckle gun. Round ones for normal people, square ones for Christians. Go watch Forgotten Weapons video. I swear to God, he says that in there.
Don't you have a fantasy of being in the Wild West and in some sort of crazy shootout situation? Well, mine is like in Red Dead 1 when Nigel West Dickens, he slapped down the sides of his car and you just go, and you're on a cart just shooting at the guys on horses. Like,
Oh, I got
doesn't
another
sound great?
and since you're so,
Every man
since you're
wants to die in a blaze of glory as a cowboy.
And,
Not wrong.
and since
Not
you're
wrong
such
at
a
all.
terrible shot, you're not even aiming at the people. You're just aiming at the horses.
Another gun you could add in there.
Animal cruelty.
An original Maxim.
Oh,
Yeah.
That would be cool.
I would
First
also just like a
machine
real
gun.
minigun.
Or like a 1914 Winchester.
Oh,
So
yeah.
the potato diggers, boom, 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 boom,
Yeah.
just like
Oh, no, those
no,
were- those were
1895 Colts.
Yeah, 1895 Colt.
Yeah, yeah,
Also,
the smack and
also, first machine gun designed by John Browning.
I know it's technically artillery, but I would love like a howitzer.
So would I. I want to say, you know
It's
what
like-
I
I don't
really
even need
want?
it to be a big one. Just
No,
It's
you
not
know-
fun.
you're
Just like I live in the
a
middle
small,
of nowhere.
A
Just
small artillery piece. Cool.
You know what I want?
Like a mortar?
Manned portable artillery, 60 millimeter mortar. That's what I
Yeah.
want. It takes 4 guys in the army to do it. It takes 1 of me to do it, not efficiently.
No, the really ridiculous Soviet. What is it?
You get a Japanese knee mortar.
The knee one, yeah.
That's
not
Japanese.
the shovel mortar.
Oh, yeah.
Or it's a shovel, but you just you flip something over, you twist something, and then now you have a mortar, and one dude could use it.
Yeah, the Japanese had the knee mortar, which is
So
kind of cool, actually.
Listen, I'm all about
All the
blowing
guns
out
that
my
I
knees.
would want.
My knees
are
are already
just, like,
blown out.
ridiculous.
Exactly.
Like just imagine like having the HIMARS, whatever, the one that's like the radar automatic minigun that tracks planes and shoots them down.
Oh yeah.
I would love something like that just in my yard.
ATF.
It's like
Don't listen to this video.
It's like an airplane flies over and you're just like, ooh, there's no bullets in there. It's just for my entertainment.
Yeah.
Like you want to
just
do
get
it
to hear
so
it. You
bad. The
just get
barrel,
Yep.
like you got nothing in there. You got nothing.
It's just spinning.
It's more so that I just get to be mean to computers.
Yeah.
We don't have a few more years before AI kills us all.
Yeah.
Let me be mean to computers.
not
I'm gonna be the
wrong.
reason why they kill us, but like that's another story.
We've slightly touched upon it already, but we talk about favorite firearm related video games.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's actually a big topic on it. Like that's when we wrote
All
stuff
3
down.
of us came up with that.
Yeah,
one,
we wrote
actually, on
down
our
a couple
own.
of things for
for-
this video, and the one thing we all kind of relatively wrote down was guns and video games because that's big.
That's the other hobby.
yeah, that's the other hobby. So, I mean,
Fallout, of course.
Yeah,
Well, obviously, we talked about Red Dead Redemption.
We talked about Fallout, Red Dead.
We already talked about the original. Were we actually
Medal of
recording
Honor.
when we were talking about the Medal of Honors?
Yeah. Dude,
Yeah.
I think that might have been in the rambling.
We've
but
been
we could cut
recording
things
for the
in.
past half hour,
Yeah.
so.
We all played the original Medal of Honors, the original Call of Duties before they started
Yeah.
getting real stupid.
But like some games, like other games, I think I'm trying to really touch upon. I mean,
Well, you play the Showdown.
so yeah, the one that
Whatever.
definitely hits home because I'm more of a. It's weird. I like old school European military firearms, and I do like U.S. firearms, but anything that's like pre 1940, pretty much. And I like old West guns. So one game that really actually hits home is Hunt Showdown. I'm terrible at it,
I got 1 kill.
but it is definitely a game worth checking out.
So is that crossplay? Pat, you gotta play that too.
I don't know.
Wait, what did? Hold on.
Dude, Hunt Showdown. All right, dude. Hunt Showdown 1896.
Go into my phone
It
first,
is
yeah.
frustrating, but it's cool as hell because the guns in it, sweet. Because they touch upon both the things I like the most. They touch upon European military arms from like 1870 to like 1910-ish. I mean, they cross a little bit forward into, but pretty much most of the games are period accurate to the
Yeah.
1896 thing. But they got Berthier's. They have a Berthier. They got a Lebel in there. They have
Crossbow.
They have-
2
they-
crossbows.
They have a
crossbows.
gun in it, right?
They
Yeah.
have a Nagant.
Yeah.
That's one of the best guns in the game is the Nagant, which is kind of weird. But they have a Vetterli in there, like a Swiss Vetterli.
They have a spear.
Oh,
Yeah, they got
I've
a bunch
seen,
of those things. The pistols and the shotguns and things like that. They have like drilling rifles. They have.
What's that chain pistol?
It's like a conversion pistol with like a chain thing.
Is that a real thing?
I don't know.
They did.
It was probably tried, but
Well, they tried a
but
lot
like
back
yeah,
then.
they got Lamatz. They got like all these guns.
I know the game you're talking about because I watched a weapons
Yeah.
compilation of all the guns in that game. So yeah, I'll play
Yeah,
it.
and they got
I remember
what? They
being
have
like,
the
I wanna play it.
1860.
Yeah.
They don't say it, but there's the 1876 Centennial. They have that in there, dude.
Yeah, Nick
that is the
called me.
only game I know that has that gun in it so far. And if I'm wrong, tell me so I can play that other game.
Nick called me one day. He's like, "Yo, you want to play this game with me?"
Yeah.
Like, come on, buy it. I was like, "All right." That's all the convincing I need.
Dude, it's infuriating at some points because like, dude, just die consistently.
Yep.
I did play a bit by myself the other day. I actually did get bounty
Extraction.
and I extracted with it.
Hell yeah.
But like it was just because I was in the area where things were happening. A huge showdown happened. I shot at a couple people, maybe hit 1 or 2. They didn't die, and then like missed the rest.
just
They
fuck
didn't even
off.
know where I was. Then they all killed each other, and the last person that was there died by a bear trap, and I just came in at the right time to steal it and go.
Yeah.
And that was it. I was like, all right, that's my fame, I guess. That's the best I ever did.
you just
which was
grab it.
nothing.
Yeah. We all play Battlefield 1.
Battlefield, definitely.
That's pretty heavy,
It's pretty
yeah.
close to the GOAT because I gotta say that game.
All the
When
guns.
it comes to
Well, okay.
military arms that are
Why-
unknown,
And
Why-
weird. Yeah, they do a good job.
They
Why,
good-
why
good
wouldn't
job
it?
on the weird
Look
ones.
at the credits. Ian McCullum,
Yeah,
Forgotten
yeah,
Weapons.
yeah, he's
he
in
was
there.
a consultant on that.
yeah, he was in there, so
You know,
that makes sense. But yeah, games
that's why
like
the fucking Mondragon's in there.
yeah.
What other World War I game is going to have that?
Yeah, I mean,
Verdun doesn't.
I mean-
Also, side note, Verdun, Anzio, all them.
Yeah, yeah,
Or
no.
not Anzio,
Verdun,
Tannenberg.
Tannenberg, and
And then,
Isanzo, great games.
Those
Try
are
those
great.
two.
Those are
the
great.
other one.
Verdun still very much
The
holds
one
up.
that I
as-
play sometimes. The World War II one, really realistic. Really realistic.
Enlisted.
Enlisted. There's
Hell Let Loose.
Hell Let Loose, thank you. I was gonna say War is Hell.
Also,
that's a
also
2D
two
game.
good games.
Yeah.
Like, it makes me so angry, but when you
Enlisted,
do good, I feel
Enlisted
so good.
apparently is the free version of Hell Let Loose. Something like that.
I don't play them that much.
I just love playing that game, and then you get lucky, become the sniper, and all you hear shoot, all you hear is ting,
Yep.
and you just know you get a headshot. Otherwise, you don't really know if you killed anyone.
Yeah. No, I like the game. I like the World War II games that are coming out that are like super
Yeah.
realistic now.
Heroes in General kind of fits in that realm.
Yeah, because I remember when Heroes and Journals came out. God,
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
a while ago.
Yeah. that was a
Hell Let
long
Loose
time
had
ago.
that one clip that really got me into it. It was like, so what are you guys gonna do after the war? And the guy's like, I can't wait to see my mother, and then immediately blows up. Like, no!
Well, that's like. Here's a video game rant for a second. The last good World War II Call of Duty game was Call of Duty World at War.
I
And
would say so. Yeah.
90%
I think that is the last one. Is
No.
No, because you
Wo-
have Call of Duty World War II and you
War
have Call
II.
of Duty Vanguard.
Yeah, those are both World War II.
I didn't
games.
play
I never played
Vanguard.
Vanguard. I played World War II.
We all played World War II. I remember we played it for a while and it broke your computer.
It did. It disallowed me to play Fallout New Vegas. That's why I hate it extra.
So
It took me like a couple years to fix my computer to play New Vegas
You
again
get-
because of that stupid thing.
you get World at War, and I know I will not be opposed on anything I'm saying about these games right now, because World at War was the best Call of Duty World War II game. And you get into that game, and it was like the beginning of like having attachments on guns. But all of them were period correct. Like there was reticle sights. They had reticle sights in World War II. They weren't very good, but they had them. Or you could put, it was the last game where you could put a bayonet on a gun. No, actually Call of Duty World War II was. But you could put a bayonet on it, or you could put a grenade launcher. So if you had an M1, you could put an M7 grenade launcher on it. Everything you could do is something that could feasibly have been done in World War II. Then you go and play Call of Duty World War II, and they're like, oh, here's a 20-round detachable box magazine for an M1 Garand, and it's like,
Yeah, hell yeah.
I mean, it's hell yeah, but it's not realistic.
they've really screwed
I mean,
around with the grease gun.
And I know we're saying like Battlefield 1's pretty cool, and it's definitely not realistic when it comes to
No.
a lot of
No.
But
Battlefield 5 is
you don't
also
get to
good,
like easily customize anything. There's like the set rifles, and then you can like put a bayonet on it if you want.
Which
or,
I like 'cause
change,
it
change
kinda
the sight
gives-
reticle. That's about it.
It's supposed to give everybody a level playing field. Sometimes it does,
Yeah,
sometimes
yeah.
it doesn't.
I mean, dude, everybody that's running around with the Hellregal, go fly kite.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
the Hellregal's gay. All right, as soon as you play that whatever that mode is, where you just get like normal service rifles, like actual ones that everybody was issued, then the people that run with Hellregals can't do anything because they don't know how to use a normal service rifle because they're dumb.
One of my favorite rifles in that game is the Ross rifle.
Just letting you know.
Yeah.
That's
On that
that's my
game,
soapbox on
What you
that.
gotta do is be a man and run people over with a motorcycle. I
Yeah,
love
yeah.
doing
You
that.
should make a Discord server for Battlefield 1.
yeah, just us sucking awfully.
Oh yeah, we suck. You get all three of us into a game and it's like, what's going on?
Yeah, we're trying. Like, that's a funny thing. Usually, like if you're with a group of people you know and you can talk to each other, usually that gives you an edge. It doesn't give us an edge. It just makes us dumber, and so we're just terrible.
Because what usually ends up happening is we're all playing right after work. And it's the same thing with Call of Duty. You come home, you want to relax, so you get online, you play a game, and then some fucking 10-year-old out of nowhere just obliterates you.
Yeah, but
you don't really get that in Battlefield 1.
But that's a
Call of
the
Duty
thing
thing.
is, no, there's definitely 10-year-olds on Battlefield 1, but the problem is you don't have, like in Call of Duty, you don't have 10-year-olds to 15-year-olds or whatever screeching high-pitched and yelling the N-word at you violently all the time and like telling you your mom is whatever and this and that. Like in Battlefield 1, it's a little bit more cultured.
It's
okay?
classy.
Yeah,
Because it's a
there-
lot of people like us.
Yeah, there's more cultured people, I think, in Battlefield's criteria.
Well, that's an older game too, so people
Well,
that
no,
play
But also,
Even
not
with
for
the
nothing,
new- even with the newer ones, like,
I think
when they
Battlefield
come
is a
out-
more cultured game in general.
Yeah, I feel it's more balanced.
Because Bad Company was great.
Yeah, I feel it's more
it's less
balanced.
arcadey.
Yeah,
too,
yeah,
than
that's
Call
the
of Duty. I
thing.
think that's
Yeah.
one of the things.
Because
It's a little slower.
Because the
You know,
problem
that's
is
a
with
little
like Call of
nicer.
Duty, I could go
But not
play.
too slow.
I could go play Cold War, run around Nuketown, get 30 kills, nuke the whole fucking town, and then just be done with the game.
Thus is the name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I can do that for one round and be like, all right, I played Call of Duty today. I'm fine. Battlefield 1, it keeps making you want to play another game. Same thing with Verdun. It keeps making you want to continue playing. You don't get that in Call of Duty, in my opinion, because I'm not going to grind in Call of Duty for a gold camo. You know?
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
I would have a gold-plated gun. Real life.
I mean, yeah,
AK.
but yeah, see,
Desert Eagle.
there's a difference between real life and video games. Real life, a gold-plated gun, cool as hell, because we know that's really expensive. But like a gold-plated gun in a video game, it's like, yeah, you just wasted a bunch of your time to get that.
You know, my last
And-
boss, her husband, did coatings and Cerakote and like gold plating and stuff like that.
Dude, why didn't you?
I was like,
Why didn't you tell that boy? Hey,
I was like, hey,
I have a Desert Eagle.
I'm not gonna use her name, boss. Like, how much does he charge for a plating? She's like, well, it's more than the Cerakoting, and I was like, she's like, but the Cerakoting's pretty cheap. I was like, I don't want Cerakoting. Thank you.
I need plating.
No, thank you. I don't want Cerakote. Thanks.
I need the most bougie of bouge.
I just don't like the look of Cerakote. You know.
No, I know.
It's too
I agree.
too matte.
It's too modern.
Yeah, it's just like kind of
I like
whatever.
a gun that shines and gives away my
Yeah,
position.
yeah, exactly. Something that like the top of the like the top of the slide shines, so you can't even see the sights on it.
Oh, God. There's guns like that.
Yeah, like the age old question of, I mean, not age old, but the question of an actual 1911 or a 1911 A1 that's Parkerized. So, like,
Do I detect a little bit of FUD lore coming on?
yeah, maybe.
Do I detect the bashing of the thuds?
Maybe.
Thuds?
Oh, yeah. So one definite topic.
So
that's,
we already went into Gun Bros.
Yeah, gun bros. But the main thing is, instead of defunding the Fed, defund the FUD, because I'm sick and tired of you trashing and ruining perfectly good guns. I'm surprised at this point in this day and age in the 2020s that
It still happens.
that it still happens. And like I understand like the 40s, 50s, and 60s when you didn't have access to information, especially on military firearms.
Yeah,
Even
and you
before
come back
then.
from the war and you need a hunting rifle.
Like I have a gunsmithing book from the 30s, and there's a whole section about sporterizing things. I'm like, fuck that section. I'm gonna burn that section down because
Like, if it
sporterizing
was-
shit is stupid.
But if it was done in the 40s or 50s or right after the war, I get it. I do.
I guess.
Do I
Yeah,
agree
there was
with-
also a lot around.
Do I agree with it?
the amount of
No.
surplus rifles
Yeah,
they had
so-
was
Yeah.
it was like nothing.
They don't have what we have today with the Springfield 03s where it's, you know,
There's an
they were
unders-
abundant.
Yeah,
Those-
there,
yeah, those
there's an
rifles are like 90 years old
There's
now.
an
Yeah.
understanding. I understand it.
we
that
all
doesn't mean
understand
I-
why it
That
got
doesn't
done.
mean I have to agree with it, and that
No.
I fucking hate it.
No, I agree. I agree
But
with that.
it's like, yeah, you have this gun, you got it super cheap because it was surplus back then, just kind of how like Mosins were $50 or like $100. Super cheap gun. You're like, this thing's super heavy, and I want to go hunting with it. So let me just get my gunsmith, or I'll try it myself, Bubba, and just
Take a saw to it.
Yeah, take a saw to the stock and take a saw to the barrel and bring it down, put stupid express style sights on it, and call it a day. And then that was it. And then you used
Or
it.
you had companies like Remington who made the
And-
Model 30.
and
the,
then-
the gall
yeah,
of those people.
Yeah, but they that's from the factory. They had all this extra stuff. They're like,
You want a good
My-
video that's a shameless plug? Go watch the video of us comparing the 1917 and the Model 30.
yeah. One day maybe we'll actually doing a shooting comparison. Maybe someday. But
One day we'll
see
do a
when that
shooting
happens.
comparison. You'll realize
day.
that we all
But,
hate that
That's a
gun.
trademark.
Yeah, one day.
It's our
But,
Can we make
phrase.
that a
but
sticker?
the thing is, yeah, just like sporterizing is just
the one day podcast.
and like and then also the double fact of, because it's weird, is FUDs are 30-06, 45, which is kind of funny because those are two of Patrick's most favorite cartridges. So, and then you have Gun Bros, which is the complete opposite, which is 5.56 and 9 millimeter, and nothing's wrong with any of those cartridges. I will say
No.
that. Like,
Well,
just like what we said before.
I'm not the FUD
We're-
who's like, if there's a 46, I'd carry
Yeah,
it.
yeah. We're not shitting on the cartridges, really. We're just shitting on the culture behind it. Like,
Yeah.
Patrick's not a FUD. He'll go to other things, but those are his two best cartridges.
Those are the ones I keep in stock.
Yeah, yeah. That's Patrick's main stock.
Yeah.
But
Because
like,
I have Mausers. I have.
I don't know.
the-
We need to cage these animals because they need to be stopped.
Yeah.
Because it's
Oh, no rapid fire at the range.
yeah, like I know in some points it has its place. I'll give Fudge that. Some of their ways it has its place,
I've
but
gone way too long
in
without
most
playing with something.
cases it doesn't.
My ADHD.
It does not have its place. Like if you're shooting some weird gun, like let's say if you're shooting like some old belt, let's say
58 Berdan.
yeah, let's say you're shooting an old rolling block that's a 58 Berdan, and then you get some FUD that's like, what the heck is that? And like it's a rolling block. You're like, dang, how old is that? 1920? And you're like, no, it's 1870. He's like, oh, I shouldn't be shooting that. The metals are weak. You can't be shooting that
Oh
thing.
no, you want Fudlore?
You need something. You need something that's in 30, 30.6. Go take
Steel on my side.
Your smelly taint and get it away from me.
Wait.
I don't want to talk to you.
You want Fudlore to the extreme? This is the one everybody knows. Early serial numbered 03 Springfields. Right?
Oh yeah.
Because the heat treat on them, they were doing it by eye.
And it wasn't good.
And it wasn't good.
Oh, yeah.
There is early serial number 03s that people have shot. They proof tested them. Okay, there's Hatcher's Notebook. Go read it. It's a good read. He did test them. They proof tested them with a higher loaded cartridge than normal. If it made it through that, you can shoot 30-06 through it regularly.
I think this like circled around to the one point I wrote down. I don't think we got through the others. Like collecting and preserving, but just don't be a loser about it. Like you can shoot these guns, even if you shoot it once. Just say it's.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's a gun. It's its purpose. Unless you're getting one of those like $10 million. Well,
Yeah.
not really, but engraved gold. Then I get it.
Here's a good example of
But
shoot
if
it
it's
once.
a gun that has been shot before in the past and everything looks good,
Shoot it.
Yeah,
Here's
shoot it
just
again.
once.
Here's an example of shoot it once and put it in the safe. My wife wants a Singer 1911. There was only 500 of them made. They're a $250,000 handgun.
Yeah, I understand when it comes to a rare,
Yeah.
very
shoot
rare,
it-
very expensive.
Maybe shoot it once or twice a year.
Like there's like one in exist, like a proto.
Yeah.
I saw the prototype Evans from before.
I
I
would
really
shoot,
want to
wouldn't
find
shoot
it,
that.
and I would shoot it though. I would definitely shoot it. I would.
kinda- you have to.
You'd shoot it
though-
once.
Even though
Once
there's
or
only
twice.
one, I don't know because you know what? If it's mine, see, that's the age old story of the.
Oh, yeah.
I guess that's
the,
true.
The guy with the.
if it's
the
your
guy-
gun, it's your gun.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
it's-
destroy it. You destroy
Yeah,
it. That's your own loss.
Look at the
but
bright side with like
let's-
1911s or whatever. Say I go out and buy a Remington Rand 1911 and you're like, oh, you shouldn't shoot it. I can buy parts for it.
Yeah.
I could buy a new spring kit for it. I
Yeah.
could do this. I could do that.
And
It's
if,
my
If
gun.
you're crafty enough, you can figure out how to fix the parts yourself.
Exactly.
Or make them yourself.
If I bought it, I'm going to shoot it. Like I said,
Yeah.
would I do that with a Singer 1911? Probably not. I'd even have a hard time doing it.
But I think it's more or less.
Well, no, I'd shoot it a couple times a year. Wouldn't
Yeah.
be like, oh, every time. It wouldn't be
Yeah.
like my 1911.
Yeah,
Every time
yeah.
I go to the
I-
range,
I
I throw it in the
understand that,
dirt.
but I
the
just-
first child gets born, you go outside, pop, pop, pop.
Yeah.
Don't shoot into the sky. Maybe
Yeah.
the ground.
Yeah.
But
don't hit your foot.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like, I don't treat my guns too well. Like, you guys know that. Like, I don't
That's
know.
like you're gonna
having
tell-
as a showpiece is just weird to me because I don't see guns as showpieces. Like, it's a gun. It meant to throw a bullet, and it's sitting there in that case.
Well,
in
and
that
you know
display
what?
crying.
Here's a good representation of this. There's a guy on YouTube. I forget his name. He actually has a very good channel. He's I don't want to call him a rich guy, but he has a lot of money. He has an indoor range in his basement.
Oh, so cool.
Has a bunch of rooms that are all full of different guns. His wife collects U.S. military
World War
sidearms
III.
from the first generation of U.S. military arms from the Revolutionary War all the way up to now. She never shoots any of them.
That's so dumb.
And-
I don't understand that.
And like
It's
I get it with some of them. It's like, all right, you bought an original 17 whatever musket from the Revolutionary War. If it's not a Brown Bess, I don't know if I trust it. You know what I mean?
I mean, when it comes to things like that,
But
like,
you can load it low enough that you can shoot it
especially
safely.
especially with black powder, like you can do whatever you want with the load. That's one thing that is pretty cool about
And like
that,
some of them,
but
she doesn't
still.
shoot because you just can't get ammo for them, and they don't make their ammo.
Yeah,
they won't
and
do it.
That also falls in
if
the
you
other
have that
thing.
much money, though, you could just also get someone to make
Yeah,
it for you.
if you're gonna dig into stuff like that, if you're gonna dig into weird guns, learn how to reload. Stop being lazy.
Yeah.
I know it's expensive, but go
It's not
fight.
that difficult,
It's
though.
really
It's no excuse to not shoot a gun.
It's not that hard, and I'm looking at not being mean, but I'm looking at the guy at Readiness Reviews. Dude, get a reloading press, bro. You're talking about all these guns that are super cool and these cartridges you can't get. Reload them.
Side note, we watch you all the time.
Yes. So just reload them. Like it's just go
But
in, just make the plunge, dude. Once you get into that thing, you're like, oh my god, I have so
And
many
they make them
avenues.
they make it so easy now.
Like you spend all this money on all those guns. You have a crap ton. I can tell. You have way more than I do. But if you just kind of deviate some of those funds over to that, then you could shoot those guns more instead of having to wait for ammo to show up.
But it's true though.
Just letting you know.
People who buy a gun just to make it a wall hanger. People who buy a gun, pistol, rifle, shotgun, whatever, just to make it a wall hanger. I kind of understand sporting shotguns not shooting them, especially like older like double barrels and stuff because of how they've been treated.
I mean,
Because they might be,
It-
but you can fix that.
it depends on the fire. Like, really depends on the
man.
fire. I mean, if
We
something
shot the Rolling Block.
we did.
We did.
The rolling
We
block
did.
was
And that
sketchy.
was fun,
That was
actually.
the
Yeah,
mine
we
was
were-
pitted.
We were banging the cartridge in with my K-bar.
Yeah, because I think it was the bullet side. The bullet size was actually a little too
Yeah.
big, so it was already engaging the rifling before it actually went all the way in.
Like if I
So
dropped,
that was my bad. That actually that's not even my bad. That's
no, I
what,
think it was like.
that's the casting's bad.
Yeah, no,
for the
even
bullet-
that.
the
Or I
bullet
think
mold.
it might have been actually. Because like the casing is a little thick too. Like the.
It is, but I think I gotta look. I gotta actually size a case just by itself without the bullet and see if it sits. Because if it sits just like that,
if it fits, I sits.
it should be fine. If it does that, then that means it's the bullet.
Oh well.
Either way,
But anyway, yeah,
I could spend thousands of dollars on a gun. I'm gonna shoot it. It doesn't matter.
yeah.
I'll shoot it at least once,
Yeah.
and if it doesn't blow up in my face, I'll do it again.
Yeah, it's kind of like the form of the guy that has like the really rare muscle car or something like that. It's like oh
And
yeah,
never drives
They
it.
only made 1,000 of them. I don't want
Jay
to.
Leno.
I don't want to put my.
He drives all of his cars though.
Yeah, but he does.
That's the thing. He drives all of his
He's
cars.
like, I don't want to put too many miles on it to sell it to the next guy. That's the old thing of it's like, oh, I'm not gonna bang my girlfriend because to keep her nice for the next guy.
Yeah.
Go fly a kite, dude.
Yeah.
Like same thing with the
That's like-
guns.
that's like, hold on.
like these are my guns. I'm gonna shoot the shit out of them if I want to.
We're gonna get very specific here because I like cars and
I think his girlfriend was making a laugh still.
yeah.
that was good. I'm the minority here. I get a fucking 6-pack 440 in a fucking Roadrunner. Even if that is a rare car. I'm
No,
gonna
drive
fucking drive it.
Yeah, drive the balls off that.
You
thing,
know,
man.
especially if it's got a 4-speed in it. Fuck yeah.
Especially and people that restore things. Like, all right, side note, I'm restoring a truck right now. There's some like my dad also did the same thing. He restored a truck. As soon as he got it painted and it was all done, barely drove it, and then he sold it like a fucking idiot.
What does David Fryberger say? As soon as you paint a car, it's done.
It's done. Game over.
never gonna drive it.
That's why I said to the guy that's restoring it and that's gonna paint it, I'm like, just put some scuffs in the back. Like once you're done, just scuff the back. So I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, all right, well, whatever.
Yeah.
Because it's a truck. I want to actually drive it like a truck. So
Yeah.
I told him to do that. I don't know if he will, but we'll see.
But it's the same. It's the same thing. I own this thing. I'm gonna do something with it.
Yeah, like stop.
Maybe-
Like I know we're like in this world we're temporary curators, and that's not my line. That's a line from I forget. I think his name's Mark at the Cinnabar. We are temporary curators of all these guns. We're not going to live forever.
No, it's with anything though.
but-
Same thing with cars,
but-
guns.
Yeah, the more you shoot them, the more you're going to wear them down.
Exactly.
Yes, but the
There
thing
is barrel life on every rifle. There is.
Oh, don't get me started on barrel life.
Shut up for a second. On every rifle, pistol, shotgun, there is barrel life, rifling life. He restore cars, I restore trains. There's X amount of time you can put a locomotive on the road and expect it to work. You know,
Yeah.
we have one that's from 1952. It's a piece of shit. You know, but we still maintain it, and it still does its job to this day. You know, this gun. When's the last time this was shot?
Who knows?
Exactly. If I put a live round,
Before my grandpa died.
if I put a live round in this thing, it'll probably work.
Yeah, it's not in bad condition.
No,
at
it's
all.
actually really
No,
good.
if I look down a barrel.
For this thing. I mean, this is the H&R.
Yeah,
Yeah, Harrington and Richards.
I would say that
are-
one's probably a touch better than the Ivor Johnson one.
Yeah, I think H&R is better. I think Ivor Johnson's bottom, and then H&R is right above it.
H&R did make M1s.
But yeah, literally the patent date October 8th, 1895. So that I'm not sure how old this one is, but it's literally a Smith & Wesson copy of a hammerless,
Yeah.
and it's adorable.
I love it.
And it shoots 32 Smith & Wesson.
top load.
Yeah,
it's
it works
adorable.
like.
It's adorable.
Boom.
This is so adorable.
Oh, circling back
Why
real
don't
far.
we just shoot this?
Circling back.
I
Real,
mean, we can't shoot this in the house
Right now.
so circling back for a second to one gun we own in life, and I put 3 out there. I'm gonna add a 4th one. Webley revolver in 455. Webley.
Webley would be pretty cool. No, Webley Fosbury.
Oh,
If you're gonna go big, go for the big booze.
No, I don't disagree with that.
I don't understand why you're saying you don't want the Gustav. Because it's both a train and a gun.
Yeah, see, that's the funny thing. When we made that joke in the very first episode, I'm like, this fits Patrick so perfectly. It is a big gun, and it's also a train.
I do like big guns.
So it
And
makes
it's old.
and it's old. It makes sense. It fits it checks every single box in Pat's box thing.
It does,
whatever.
which is
Seeing
funny.
that thing fire.
Oh yeah.
Not terrifying.
Which-
Imagine the level of concussion and lack of hearing you're gonna have for weeks.
Oh, weeks, the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Did they even have good hearing protection back then?
No.
Or they were just like going like that.
Yeah, I'm pretty
It's
sure.
like
Yeah.
it's like Blazing Saddles.
when they
Candygram for Mongo.
Yeah,
Like-
just walk off.
Did you shoot it and like the back pressure was enough? I feel like it'd be enough to kill someone.
That's
Probably.
kind of like the concussion off of like I know it's not. There's nowhere near comparison to a Gustav gun, but like if you shoot a Barrett or if you shoot anything like that, especially that has a compensator that pushes the air back, the recoil really, especially on a Barrett, it's not bad.
It's not bad.
The concussion though rings your head.
Even if you're doubled up on your
and that's
protection.
that's a 50. That's a tiny
Well,
little
doesn't
thing.
the Barrett have like the floating barrel, whatever it's called?
Well,
Yeah,
it's a long recoil.
Yeah,
Actually.
yeah. So
That's what it
there's a lot of spring that's holding that recoil, so it really doesn't hurt you that much. But the concussion,
No, yeah.
Cool,
it
though.
rings your head.
And like I said, even
So,
if you're doubled up
I
on
can't
yours with earplugs and
Yeah, I can't even imagine a Gustav gun. going
I couldn't
off
even imagine
and being near it.
I couldn't imagine lighting off an M2 Browning off the top of a Sherman in World War II without hearing.
Yeah, like
Like,
people had some different ears back then, dude.
well, you talked about it. World War II, World War I, Korea.
Guess why why everybody's deaf.
We'll leave Vietnam.
That's old.
Oh, what?
Why?
We'll leave Vietnam out of this for a moment. They were considered the greatest generation. Okay, we'll put Vietnam in there. They were considered the greatest generation of Americans, and they were, because they were badass.
I don't know, man. People rode horses back then.
Yeah.
Before that,
Think about
I
this.
miss riding horses.
Think about this. for a
Those
second.
horses were badass. They were not spooked by
If
bullets.
anyone owns a
if you should have
horse,
got
I'll
next to a
trade
horse
my
now,
Chevy Malibu
yeah.
for it.
Wow.
I want a
Well,
horse.
think about this right now.
It'd be cool.
George S. Patton went from commanding horse battalions, cavalry units, designed the last cavalry saber to be issued by the U.S. military, to basically pioneering the tactics that we use for tanks in World War I, World War II, and even somewhat to nowadays. Like, you lived through that. It's like, think of like, so my great-grandmother was born in she's not alive anymore, but she was born like 1908 or something like that. She lived through cars just becoming a thing. Flying was already a thing I forget when the Wright brothers was, but flying was kind of a thing. Cars were just a thing. Trains were the only way you could get anywhere efficiently. Horse and buggy was still very much a thing.
Hell yeah.
She died.
Hell yeah, boy.
She died 15 years ago, and we were just starting to get phones you could do everything on. You know, think about the people that lived through all of that.
Yeah,
they lived
that's
through the World War I,
mean-
the Depression, World War II. You know,
That's crazy because we're also going to have that. You know, if we live long, extended lives, it's also going to be like that, but it's going to be in a way we won't know.
Yeah, we don't even
AI,
understand.
We didn't even know AI was coming around, and now
Yeah.
it's like everything. I have AI on my phone. I hate it.
I hate it
Yeah,
too.
it's weird.
But
The
you just,
listening,
you
you
think
bastards.
about those people that saw this country go from horse and buggy transportation or anything to, you know, Teslas. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah. I mean,
And-
that's also kind of funny because even though a Tesla is obviously way more technologically advanced than the ones I'm going to talk about, but there was electric cars back
There
then.
was, yeah, there was electric
They were
cars
terrible.
back. Oh yeah, they sucked.
And they didn't have huge, massive screens on them.
Yeah.
But
But even like you got to look at it this way: electricity. Everybody looks at Tesla's electric cars, stuff like that. Like, oh, it's the wave of the future. They had electric cars back
this
then.
is a strange tangent.
This is a strange tangent. They had electric cars back then. They had electric light, obviously.
Yeah.
You know, and not for nothing, railroads were using electricity before the turn of the century to power trains, and people don't realize that. Like what stuff we have today. Actually, you know where this could go into real quick for guns? Stuff we have today is just copies of what is a better version of what they made
Back then.
100 years ago. And it's like one of the topics we have here, which is guns nowadays, nothing's original. Everything
Yeah.
is a Browning design. And I'm not faulting that at all, because John Browning, I mean,
Yeah. But
is John Browning.
Yeah, it is weird
But, you know,
how that.
a Glock
like
works on the
Teslas.
same action that John Browning designed on the Browning High Power in the 30s. You know? Or most handguns work on some form of action that John Brown designed.
That's
John Browning designed.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of like the like especially in the Industrial Revolution. It's kind of like if you think of everything scientifically.
That was a really weird tangent.
I'm
for it,
It's
though.
like a telescoping effect, but the problem is
Yeah.
there's a point where the telescoping effect stops.
And they have
And-
guns that are like today, like we were talking about this off camera before, the Chris Vector.
Yeah,
You know, that's a design that is new. It's weird.
It's odd. It's weird, but it still uses a system that was designed quite a long. It's still magazine fed.
Still takes Glock mags.
Yeah, it still takes Glock mags, and it still works on a system that
Yeah.
was designed a long time ago. It's just the package is weird. And same thing with whatever, I guess it's the Keltec shotgun, whatever that thing is.
Oh, the KSG with the
the
two
KSG.
barrels. Yeah.
Yeah, it has two tubes instead.
Fun
that
fact.
interlock. But the thing is,
those things are cool.
and
They
it's-
fucking suck to
Yeah,
shoot.
they're awful.
they suck to shoot. They're tiny, but the thing is, it's still
It's still a pump action
a
shotgun.
tube-fed shotgun.
It's still a Browning design.
And even the one.
the one that you twist.
Yeah, it has the 4 tubes. I think I don't know.
Yeah,
if
I heard that
still-
one like functionally works awful too.
Yeah,
which is just,
so-
I mean that happens
Well, and
a lot
then
with
they
the
have the
Mavericks.
UTS one too.
Yeah, it's the same idea though. That it's just a tube feeding into, and
And the worst part is nowadays, all these patents are expired.
Like-
that were done 100 years
like
ago.
I want to see a gun that just the magazine doesn't even connect to the gun. It somehow magically floats over it.
Yeah.
Drops
and,
the bullet
and it's
in.
dropping them in. But no, it's not even dropping it. It's doing this weird system where it like does like a little spin and goes in the gun.
like a Madsen.
Yeah, well, like a Madsen goes straight in the top, like a Bren, same thing.
Yeah.
But I want it to be.
No, I'm talking about how the Madsen loads. It loads in a very unconventional way.
Yeah. But like just give me the dumbest way. Like, come up with something new.
But also, like, there's no. Everybody talks about, oh, do you like SIG? Do you like Glock? Do you like? I mean, Colt really doesn't have no pun intended, doesn't really have a horse in a race anymore
No.
nowadays. But back then, it was like, all right, Browning designed the Browning A5. In my opinion, best semi-automatic shotgun ever made. Winchester went, we want to copy that. You can't. Patent's still there, so they made the Widowmaker.
Yeah.
Silly.
Silly.
So, or it's the same thing with Colt and the revolving cylinder design. He patented that. And, well, actually, no, he patented the hole drilled through the cylinder to load.
No, that was.
Or was that Smith & Wesson?
Smith & Wesson bought the patent from the guy. That's I forget his name. Oh my god.
Either way, it wasn't Colt. I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But-
it was not Colt. The design of the hammer moving the cylinder at the same time, because the revolving cylinder was a thing beforehand. But that whole thing, that's Colt. And he actually didn't get a benefit from the patent when he first put it out.
No, he didn't at all.
And then he extended like 1,000,000 times. And then people couldn't copy that.
Yep.
And then they had to work around it. That's where you get those weird gun designs, especially back
Like the
then.
Savage, where you had the ring to pull the cylinder.
Yeah, the ring one. And then,
Yeah.
I mean, with also Smith & Wesson, when they were working at Volcanic, they made a pistol, but it
Yep.
worked off a lever. It didn't
Yep.
work off the cylinder. And it
That's
had
another
a
kind of
tube.
dream gun, actually.
Yeah, it had
rocket ball.
It had a tube, and which designs are that's where the lever guns come
Yeah.
from. Is from them.
But you think
then
about
there's other ones, the bore through cylinder. So other companies had to think
how can they get around this?
of different ways to get around it. So that's where you get the really weird guns, especially back because Colt had this on lock, dude. And then that's where you get the weird turret guns. They're super dangerous.
Yep.
And those really
Or
weird
the Colt revolving shotguns.
yeah, goofy things, or like the guns like back then.
Or
like-
revolving rifles, not shotguns.
Yeah, things like that. But you had all these really weird, goofy designs just to circumvent not infringing on somebody else's
Yep.
patent. Like nowadays,
Everybody does it. Because
everybody
has patents for everything.
everybody has. Nobody's coming up with a new crazy idea, and then they're like, "Oh, that's really like practical, whatever." And then they're like, "Well, it's my patent. You can't
got
do it."
something.
I got an idea.
And so,
for
so
crazy
everybody's
guns.
just like, "Oh, we got to work around it," and they come up with this weird, dumb shit that doesn't work. I want the dumb shit.
I want to hear it just as.
I got an
I know we've been
idea
talking
gun.
for a while. You just been sitting back
Because I was thinking about weird designs. So this is my design for a gun, and I have a patent pending. No one steal it. It's a revolving revolver. So it's 8 barrels, but each of them have, or 6 barrels, and each of them have their own 6-barrel fucking
Jesus
chamber.
Christ.
So you go through 6, and it revolves the whole thing to the next barrel.
so-
Sounds like one of those Nerf guns that does
So
that.
that sounds like you're taking a pepper box, but with a.
Yeah.
They're not
like
Well, no,
essentially,
they
it's
had
just
one.
a
What-
bunch of these, just like
yeah.
all around. But 6, when you shoot the 6, it automatically to the next gun, but it's the same trigger.
That's so silly.
Listen.
I mean, it works. That sounds kind of like
You want a unique gun?
there's a couple of
Well,
guns
I'll-
that fit that bill. There's
Yeah.
it's a French
Well, yeah,
pin-
they just revolve the
Pinfire.
no,
cylinder
there's
instead.
there's a French pinfire revolver that has 2 barrels.
Yeah.
And it has interlock, like, so it's really strange because its cylinder's huge, but the bullets are tiny, but they're on top of each other. They interlock like this. So like
Yeah,
as you
I've seen
fire, it
those.
goes. So it holds 20 rounds. So it's like pew 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 pew. So it's like
Well, what I was going to say was
Anyway.
probably the most technologically breakthrough in firearms technology recently. I'd say within the last 50 years. Most people would say the AR-15 is bullpups. That's like the newest thing to have actually like
but
happened.
the thing
but
is,
they started those in the 50s.
yeah, bullpups were a long time ago.
Yeah.
I mean, in technicality, Spencer,
Yep.
Evans, those
Yep.
are
Magazines behind the shooter.
they're technically bullpups, even
Yeah.
though they're not, because it's just they still have a full length
Has
barrel.
anybody checked to make sure this thing's even still recording?
We've gone on long enough. I
We've said a
think.
lot. We're gonna.
If you made it to the end,
Congratulations.
Congratulations, yeah.
congratulations. Thank
Um,
you.
a
Thank,
lot.
If you
thank-
like
Thank you for dealing with our
This
dumbness.
is our first podcast behind the scenes,
Podcast.
whatever thing.
Yeah.
I don't like
surplus
calling it a podcast. I don't know. It's like kind of like a more.
Whatever this is.
It's a
gonna be
round
named.
table.
It's our round table. It's literally
It's a round
where
table.
we yap about wherever we can think.
If you like this, let us know.
Also, drop us any ideas.
yeah, if you want discussion to add to our discussion topics, let us know.
Maybe we'll talk about it for like a minute or two in the actual podcast, and then we'll just dump it out and talk about all the
Yeah.
dumb shit that doesn't matter.
I don't think we'll do. I also don't think we'll really do anything about gun politics, except for
No.
that we don't like the New Jersey gun laws. But gun politics, I think we're probably going to stay away from. We're just here for the love of guns.
That was really weird.
Wait,
Just smoke it.
wait.
I mean, I don't know.
I just.
Oh.
It smells like.
Wait.
It smells like.
No, that one
fuzziness.
doesn't have the.
Now we're like administrative results.
Yeah. So.
Anyway,
Yes, we appreciate you. Like, comment, subscribe.
Turn the bell on. Turn the bell icon on. And leave us comments.
Yeah.
Let us know. If you like this, great.
Whoa.
Ask us questions. We could do a Q&A if you ask us enough questions. We're not smart, but we'll try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. And thanks for all the people who are responding to the Stubby video.
Yeah, that
Appreciate-
video has taken off.
Appreciate you. I mean, when this video ages way down the line, when we're like old, you might not know what the hell we're talking about. But in 2024, the summer and to the fall of 2024, appreciate you.
Yeah.
So-
and thank you for
And whenever I edit this too, because I'm terrible at that, I take forever.
yeah.
So
And almost 350 subscribers.
yeah, look at
hell
that.
yeah.
Look at that. We're I know that's an abysmal number, but for
Maybe-
us, it's more than we thought.
Yeah, it's more than we
maybe
thought we'd be at this point.
I'll release a video about a gun sooner or later.
Yeah, right. So.
We'll see.
All right.
All right.
I love you.
Kisses.
Bye.
Mwah, mwah.
Bye.